Hey Dad, hey Greg, hey y'all. Welcome back to Wrench at Wheeling. Well, it was a pretty big week. I got a couple things done this week. I actually went and got this bottle exchanged. So this is a little bit more beat up than my other bottle was, but it was easier to exchange it and get the gas than it was to have that one refilled. I do have a little 20 cubic foot bottle that I normally have on that blue welder. It ran out a while back, and when I went to get this one filled, I was going to just trade that bottle in, but they don't have that bottle. That's too small. I think the smallest one they have is a 40 cubic foot. So they said that they could send it off and get it refilled, so that's where that is. It's in process of getting refilled. And I got my grill fixed. If you look back at some of my other videos, you'll see my two front teeth were chipped. It was from taking a baseball to the face back when I was younger, and it broke both of my front teeth, and then they started deteriorating. And last year we couldn't go to the dentist. They had all the dentists closed down, and so I was just putting it off as long as I could. And I got an abscess in one of my front teeth, so they ended up having to go in. I had a double root canal. I think it was back in June. Had a double root canal, and then this past week went in and got these crowns put on. Well, these are temporary. The real ones will be in a couple of weeks, so I'll get that done. But that kind of took my grill from multifunctional to show and shine now, because can't eat apples, can't eat corn on the cob, can't eat any of that stuff anymore. So there you have it. But at least I got that done, and I'm in pretty good shape with it. So today I'm going to go ahead, get this bottle hooked back up to the small welder. Gonna make sure I turn it off this time, and then get my TIG welder, get this set up, put back together, get the regulator for the TIG welder put back on that bottle, so that way that's in good shape. Get this put back in its parking place over there, since I don't use it very often. But I do have some plans of some things that I want to do. This will weld aluminum, and there's a little aluminum camper that I want to build so that I can pull that with my Jeep. My Jeep being on 35s, it doesn't pull very well anymore. Sometimes it's all it can do to pull itself up a hill when I'm in highway speed. So I want to try and make an aluminum trailer, a little camper, and see if I can't go wheeling a little bit more often. There's some places that my club goes that I want to go to, but I don't want to have to get a hotel room or anything like that. I'd rather be camping instead of in a hotel. So see if I can't maybe get that done one day, get started on that. But that's where we are today. I'm gonna try and finish up that little patch that I started over there, get that finished up, and then move to the other side and continue trying to find those spot welds that were eluding me last time, and start on that other rocker. So hope y'all enjoy. Thanks for coming back. If this is your first time, hit that like, hit that subscribe. No matter what times you've watched, go ahead and do that. And if you haven't watched any other ones, I've got a bunch more before this. Me tearing this car apart. It was a full car. So go ahead and watch those. So appreciate everybody. Hope you enjoy. Thanks. here's what all I got done. I got all that welded up. Looks pretty good. And I got this little edge turned down here and ground it down. Kind of finished it out. I think it looks pretty good. You can see it right there. So that looks pretty good. That ought to take the seam sealer pretty well. Went ahead and got that piece knocked back and welded in. Got knocked off some of my POR 15, but I'll recoat that. And I think all this looks good enough. I will do a little body work on this stuff here if I need to. Just a little skim to get rid of those little places there. But, because that'll be seen whenever you open the door. But other than that, I think that's gonna do. It'll be just fine. So we'll go ahead and go to the other side, start trying to get that other rocker out. Well, I drilled out that spot weld right there, and this whole part right here is loose now. So all of these right through here that had dimples in them, I don't know if they were bad spot welds or just wrinkles, and I thought they were spot weld, but they weren't. That one right there was a spot weld. That one was not. And then there were two spot welds down here, one right there, one right there, and one right there. So the outside's loose. Let me get to the inside. right, there's all that part of it all stripped down. I think they were having trouble with their spot welder when they built this car, because that spot weld there, this spot weld right here, this one down here, they were cut almost all the way through. And I know that they were spot welds because the metal is deformed on both sides. You could just tell that they were spot welds. But it looks like it didn't get hot enough to actually weld it together, because when I started hammering against it, even though it was drilled, I can feel the back of the metal. You know, I can feel the circle where the spot weld cutter was coming through, and it still pulled it away from the metal in here. So these ones out here were probably, some of them were probably spot welds. They just didn't get spot welded good. So just kind of interesting. But this one was the same way right here. That one, it popped loose from the bracket that's back here. Now these two were good spot welds, and all these around here seem to be pretty good spot welds. I didn't get any of those to pop loose. And then this one right here, that's a little bit of an oops. Went all the way through. It's hard to reach these, and I've got the dash in the way right here, and it's lower over here than it is over on the driver's side, and there's a little place I gotta patch. But so that's where we are with this. Got all this loose in here. The only thing I have left to take loose in here is that spot weld right there. I'll probably have to get that with a grinder, and then I'm probably just going to end up cutting this thing apart like I did on the other side and pulling it out in little pieces. So, all right. Okay, so I started getting the outer skin of the rocker cut off, and when I sank my saw into here and pulled out that first piece, I thought, oh no, I'm taking out a rocker that I probably just needed to put a skin on. But then the further I cut, this is thin here, this is really thin, this should really come over to here. So that's been rusting pretty good. And then I got up to here. Yeah, the rocker needs to be replaced. So it's a good thing I've got one. So we'll go ahead and get this one cut out and finished up. Not quite sure. These don't look factory, but those will probably go away whenever I replace these rockers. I mean these quarter panels, because I'll probably get both sides. I know this side has to be replaced because of the wheel well and that fancy sheet metal work that they did there with the Bondo and all that good stuff with the partial restoration. So we'll get all that taken out as well. But for right now, this is where we are with the rocker panel. So we're in pretty good shape with that. We'll be getting it out of there. But that's gonna do it for this video. I still have editing to do to get it on the interwebs and try and get it out there for y'all to watch. So it's my one day. That's about all I get right now. So hopefully in the future that'll change. But we got some progress made. Got the patch in, got it welded out and making it look good. And got started on hacking this thing out of here. So we'll see how much further we can get next week. We'll see what happens during this week, see if I can't try and get out here maybe an hour or two or something. With the heat right now, it's a little tough to get out after work. So we sure do appreciate everybody watching. So if you're enjoying what you're watching, hit that like, hit that subscribe down below. Share the video, and we'll see you next week. And everybody have a good week. God bless.